Dogs wear shoes in this neighborhood. I hadn't seen the 3D printed knife that he made. He's printed all kinds of stuff. But he had sent me a picture while I was away at work, and he showed me that he printed the knife. And I was like, oh, dude, that's cool, you know? And then I was actually kind of like, when I get back, I'm going to show him how to use a butterfly knife, because I used to have one when I was a kid, and I know how to use it. He started asking me questions about, do you know how much it was? And I'm like, I can't remember. I bought it when I was a kid, and I was like, I don't know, maybe your age, maybe younger, or yeah, probably about his age. He's 13. Yeah, about his age. And he asked me, why did you have a knife? And I turned and looked at him, and I said, in case I needed to stab somebody. And he looked at me with like a confused look, like he couldn't believe that. And while he was looking at me, I told him, me and you didn't grow up the same. I grew up in Queens, New York. You grow up in Arizona, in the suburbs. We grew up very differently. I was like, yeah, I remember. And it's not like a tough guy type of thing. Like, it's not something that I would ever, like, that's fucking scary. That is a scary, scary thing. I think sometimes parents, like, we have kids, and I think a lot of times we feel like, I mean, they come from us, but they are not us. They have a lot of us in them, but they are not us. And they do not have the experiences that we have. Like, there are some things about people that are passed down, right? But there are certain things that are learned. And the things that you learn growing up in a rough neighborhood, I don't think those things pass down. Those things are learned through experience, and he has no clue what the hell that's like. You know, like being 13, his age, and just jumping on the 7 train in Main Street, Flushing, and riding it 45 minutes into Times Square with a couple 40s and my friends, getting drunk on the train to go watch tourists. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Yeah. Absolutely not. Him with his fucking fidget spinners and shit and his drones, you know, like, no.
Yeah.
So, but he's my son, right? And sometimes I think that people feel like, dude, I'm this way, that's the way they should be. Or I grew up like that. You should know better. But it's like, dude, they didn't grow through the same things. Like I told him, growing up in a rough neighborhood, you learn a lot of stuff. You learn to be on your toes. You learn to pay attention to your surroundings. Like there's just certain things that you pick up that you just don't get if you grow up in a utopia where everything is, where they have fucking baskets of fruit for the kids that are getting on the bus at the bus stop.
Right.
Instead of stepping over the fucking crackheads on your way to school.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah.
You know, and, but that's okay. You know, it's just that the lessons that we learned in that way, they got to learn in another way. It doesn't mean that they don't have to learn them because these lessons are friggin' important because they are very helpful throughout life.
So when you shared this with him, what was his response? Did he understand?
It wasn't really a response, but he did like, he was like, yeah, he gets it. You know what I mean? At his age, I had already somebody flashed a gun at me. So yeah, I carried a knife.
Yeah. Yeah. It's different walking down our neighborhood.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Fucking dogs wear shoes in this neighborhood.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so it's like, how do you teach them these lessons, right? How do you teach them? How do you know, with the whole, I wonder if that's the lack of common sense.
Yeah, part of it. Yeah.
You know?
Part of it. Well, I'll tell you one thing, that little ways, in smaller ways, and in not as serious ways. Like, I learned about hustling by going down to Times Square and watching the guys play 3-card Monte and watching them hustle all the people that are standing around. I saw that face to face. I see when the cops come by and they knock everything over and grab all the money and take off. You know, like, so how does he learn that? You know how?
By taking him to Vegas and letting him walk the strip. Our kids learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah, they did. They grew a couple years this weekend. But no, like he's been into this 3D printing thing like I'm talking about. And he's like searching, and he found a fucking deal on this 3D printer that is like, I don't know how expensive. A deal that when he showed it to me and told me how much it was, I'm like, maybe we should buy 5 of those. And it was a Costco deal. And then he shares it with me, and then I look at it, and I'm like, something's off about this. First of all, I look up the printer, and it is worth a lot of money. And I know sometimes websites make mistakes, and you can freaking snatch a bunch if they mess up the price, and you get a freaking deal on them. But something was off about this, and it was a Costco website. So what did I do? I get out of everything, I close everything out, and then I go to Costco.com and I log in.
Okay.
And I search the thing. And then I click on his link. And if his link was from a Costco thing, it should already log me in and I should be able to see it. But it takes me to the same website and it says log in. I'm like, it shouldn't say that. And also it said that there was it was like 4 left before, and now there's 11 left. And there was only so much time, and now there's more time than there was before. I'm like, something's off about this site. And then when you check the address, it's not Costco.com.
Did you show him all of that?
I showed him all of that.
Okay.
I showed him all of that. And I'm like, what happens here is if you give them your information, they'll steal it. They'll steal your money and steal your identity. You don't have to go and watch the 3-card Monty guys. I don't remember if I got hustled by these guys ever, but I'll tell you, it doesn't take much. It takes you get hustled a couple times and you don't get hustled anymore. Like the President Bush said that one time, fool me once, shame on. Look, fool me, can't get fooled again. Right? But like for him, he has this example now. Like there's scams out there. If it seems too good to be, that's how you learn these lessons.
Yeah.
If it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
No, he was probably sad.
He was sad. I broke his heart.